Good morning, Highlanders. Today is Friday, October 16th, 2020. The weather today looks lovely, a few passing clouds, otherwise generally sunny and cool, high of 66. Sun rose this morning at 7:10 and will set at 6:18 p.m. Today, October 16th, is World Food Day. World Food Day is an international day that is observed all around the world on October 16th, and it is really intended to get people thinking about food security, being secure in having a steady, nutritious supply of food. We know that hundreds of millions of people around the world go hungry each day, don't get enough to eat each day. Tens of millions of people in the United States go hungry each day. We know that the pandemic has only exacerbated that, has only made it worse and intensified it all over the world. So it is so important that we work as a community and as a human family to ensure that people don't go hungry. Our school already did some really amazing work around that. There were some amazing food drives that the school put together that were really moving and wonderful to witness. I want to find ways for us to do more. So if you ever have ideas for what we can do to help people in our community have food security, I would love to talk about it. Write me a note, ask your teacher to deliver it to me, and I would love to hear your ideas. October 16th, in the year 690, October 6th, oh, Mary, I can just ask you to edit that out. Mary, please delete that part. I don't have to start all over again. Hallelujah. October 16th in the year 790 was also the date that Empress Wu Zetian, I think our history textbooks call her Wu Zhao. She's known by a number of different names. But it was on this date in 690 that she ascended to the throne of the Tang Dynasty and proclaimed herself ruler of the entire Chinese Empire. Fifth graders will remember her from last year, and fourth graders, I don't think you're there yet, but you will learn all about Wu Zhao and her amazing path to power. And also October 16th, 1859 was the date of John Brown's raid on Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Today it's Harpers Ferry, Virginia, because the state line has moved. This was a really pivotal moment in American history. John Brown was an abolitionist, so he believed in the abolition, the getting rid of slavery. And he was a radical, and he led a group of people to essentially attack the government. They took over an arsenal, a federal arsenal at Harpers Ferry in West Virginia, because they wanted to take all of those weapons and give them to enslaved people in the South and initiate a revolt, a slave revolt in the southern states. So a very complicated moment in American history, a very powerful one. John Brown and his men were executed, and people today speak of this as a dress rehearsal for the American Civil War, right? This intense conflict over the horror of slavery. So October 16th, a notable date in history. Meanwhile, what I wanted to focus on today is our school. And so there's our campus. You can see it from above. There's the playground. And parking lot, and there's all our buildings, and then you see all those little scratchy, funny green things. What are those things? Well, they are, of course, trees. Beautiful trees. So as I've been walking the other day, I was sitting out. We had a little faculty seminar conversation, and I was looking at the leaves rustling above. We were outside, and I just thought, this is such a beautiful tree, and I don't know for sure what kind it is. So I am not any kind of tree expert or botanist. I don't know much about trees, but I would love to learn, and it seems as though our campus offers this wonderful opportunity to learn more about trees because we have some beautiful trees on this campus. So first of all, when you're thinking about trees, always, you'll remember that there are deciduous trees and there are evergreen trees. Evergreen trees are evergreen. They stay green even in the wintertime, so their foliage is year-round. And deciduous trees shed their trees seasonally. We can see our deciduous trees losing their leaves and the branches becoming more and more bare even now. So oak leaves, very beautiful. This is kind of what it looked like when I was looking up at that tree, looking up at those leaves the other day. I didn't realize just how many kinds of oak trees there are. There are white oaks and red oaks and willow oaks and bur oaks and gamble oaks and apparently post oaks and English oaks. There's so many kinds of oaks. So, but typically they will have this, I don't know if the number of points on the oak leaf is consistent, but you can see they're different from a maple leaf, although one of those oak leaves looks almost mapley. But there are a lot of, I think, beautiful oaks on our campus, so you can look out for those. And I believe, but I'm not sure, that we may have a number of locust trees on our campus. And this is what I would really love to find out about. We have some trees that have a leaf shape that is similar to this, and there are many kinds of locusts. There are black locusts and honey locusts and New Mexico locusts. And I think we may have some locusts. I don't know what are those trees with those pretty long, big, twisting seed pods that are out on I think there's at least one right on the plaza when you walk in. So I'm interested to know if you can find out if those seed pods come from locust trees. And then Colorado State Fort Collins has a really helpful website with lots of some of the most common Colorado trees. So there are lots of evergreens that are common in Colorado. One of them is the blue spruce. You can see why it's called the blue spruce because of that bluish tint on the needles. The Engelmann spruce. The bristlecone pine. I wonder if we have some bristlecone pines up on the north playground. I'd be interested to know if you can confirm or deny if some of those trees are bristlecone pines. Douglas firs. Is that what those kind of pretty shaggy ones are that we have various places on campus? And then the white fir, which looks not too different from a blue spruce to me. I don't know. But all these interesting trees, and I don't know what all our trees on campus are, but clearly I think we may have some oaks. I think we may have some locusts. I think we may have some, I know we have some evergreens, but I don't know what kind. So I would love it if you would do a little bit of study, maybe gather up a little twig or a sprig and some needles or some leaves, maybe do a little sketch of them and see if you can, maybe you have a plant book at home, or you can talk to a grandparent who really knows plants and trees well. I would just love to hear from you if you can figure out what are all the trees we have on campus, and maybe we can do a little project and start labeling all of the trees that we have on campus, get those pretty little metal plant labels and put them in so that everyone can know what they are. So that is your detective sleuthing task for those of you who are in person. When you come back next week, let's look around and use our eyes and start really paying attention to these trees and see if we can learn what they are. And that's it for today. If it is your birthday today, October 16th, 2020, happy birthday to you. Hope you all have a day of kindness and friendliness and peace. We'll see you next time.